Today we are going to be excavating and restoring a trail ruin. I really thought these only spawned in tigers, but here we are in a birch forest. And honestly, I'm really curious to see what they would look like, because on my Let's Play I recently started excavating one, and it formed very distinctive rooms. So that's what we're going to be doing today. So let's get started. This is also my first time using flashback, so we'll see how that goes. Okay, I kind of did most of the clearing out without you just because it's a little bit repetitive, but here's what we have. We have this section, which I'm assuming is like a spiral staircase down into this part. And there's very distinctive hallways, I mean that one especially. But in this room, this looks like a little crafting room. To the left here, this doesn't really seem to go anywhere. This way it looks like perhaps a kitchen with the campfires. Perhaps like a chimney type structure, like it almost looks like a pizza oven to me. And then through this big hallway, there's two of these structures, which to me that reminds me of like a well, like maybe they have infinite water source here, but there's two of them, there's one just down there as well. This to me, just of the hole, looks like some chimneys, maybe that serves as like the heating for these rooms. In here, this is quite a big area. So we have the loom in this middle room. It looks like this might be a staircase up to here. And then down this way, it looks like another staircase down to this cauldron room. I'm not really sure. Maybe this is like the bathroom. And then we have this thing. I'm really not sure what this thing is. And then the hallway ends there. We also have this room on the side, which is just brick. Maybe this could be like a pottery workshop or something. I don't know why I get that vibe, but there we go. So we have quite a few rooms to work with here. This one especially in interesting shape. And then we have the main staircase up to the top. Quite a lot to be getting on with. So we can start filling in the gaps in the pattern so far. Down here, these very clearly to me look like arches, so we'll just continue that. These blocks here could be that they fell down from that section, and I think the same with this section is it's like something fell down from right there. I think we'll interpret these blue terracotta blocks as having fallen down from the roof, and fill in the roof as it looks. It's interesting that these two sections are separated by this wall. The crafting table is kind of in the way here, but I think we'll keep that where it is. A different decoration, so perhaps this is like a dining room. I think we'll just fill in the walls as they normally are though, since I'm not seeing any indication otherwise. Yeah, I'm happy with the idea that this is like a dining room area, and then these two are bedrooms. We will move on for now and get all of it looking like this before we go in with decorations. Alright, we have most of it restored. I really didn't know what to do with this, so I've just left it as as whatever it is. We have this room restored, which reminds me of Germany, the German flag. In here we have this room, which was very difficult to do because it's not a circle, even though it looks like it, because this edge is flat, just that seems like it would work for the utility of that space. And then we have the underneath here as well with the cauldron. And then I added a ladder here, because the spiral just kind of looked strange, and then the spiral all the way up to the top. These sections look like windows, and I think maybe I'm overthinking the trial ruin, but that was probably where the floor level was at, and maybe because this area is surrounded by the ocean, on that whole side there. So maybe like it would flood a lot in this area, and that would either cause the building to sink or cause a bunch of dirt and sand and stuff to go inside of it, which made it a ruin. And we also have this big chimney fireplace area, which would probably heat up the entire thing, and this is just the same as before. Now the main issue I'm seeing is with this main tunnel, because this floor, it's the same as this one here, but we can't really use mud pillars because there's no signs of mud other than the runes. So I'm thinking maybe wood structural, and we can just pretend that it rotted away or something. But anyway, now is the time for decorations, and let's not waste any more time and just crack on with it. Okay, it's a little bit later and it is all fully decorated. However, I kind of have lore for the people who live here now. As you can see, I haven't really done much to the outside, but we now have the staircase all the way down. Didn't really touch this part except for adding a few pots here. And I'm going to have to go backwards first to explain the story here, but we can have a brief look now. But basically, because there's this room down here which looks, just with the brick, it reminded me of like pottery. So we've gone ahead and decorated it like a pottery workshop. So we have like the wet, I know it's mud, but the wet clay and a little brush and a bunch of pots, and these will be drying before going in the kiln. A bunch more pots over here as well for storage, and then that thing I just made it into like, I don't know, a big pot sculpture or something, and a well here. So the reason why it's so outside, I thought, is so that you could easily re-wet the clay. Burner here, which could be used to fire some of the small pots maybe. And then we have this room in here, which I thought is very multi-purpose because this room has 3 floors to it. Perhaps they sell all of the pottery that they make at the village, and in return for that they receive wool. And this is the room in which they like make their clothes and things like that. We have some storage back here as well, and these pieces are dyed and they're just drying out because down here was the room with just the cauldron in it. And I added a bunch more pots as well. Maybe they're being painted and they're left here to dry per painting. And this would be like, that's the cauldron where they would dye their clothes, is the idea. So this is like the wool making clothes, dyeing the clothes, dyeing the fabric, things like that. And they get this wool from selling all of the pots and pottery. And up here, because of this like small business vibe, we have a little table up here so that they can have little meetings if anyone wanted a specific number of pots or something like that. And that's why we have more pottery in this room as well. And then out here we just have this painting because it really goes with the colours. It's got greys and browns, which is very prevalent here. And this other little well which is already there. And then up here, this could be the main kiln because it's 2x2, and then some cozy little seats beside it so you could read a book behind the beside the fire or something. Over here, just more storage, and then this room is, I think, where they relax. So we have the children bedroom. One of the favourite colours is red and the other one's blue, and they have their own little pots, just things that they've made that they wanted to keep, little trinkets or whatever, and a little picture. And then this one is the parents' bedroom. It's a little bit bigger. I thought that this could be the cot for the baby, and then this is like the changing table over here, and then these would be like bins to put the dirty nappies in and stuff. And then over here, this is the dining room with a nice painting behind. Again, it just has the colours of the room with the yellow and the browns. You can't actually sit in them, but that would be the dining room with a little flower there, and that's about it. I didn't mean to come up with a story for these people, but it just kind of happened naturally, and it is a lot of spamming pots everywhere, but I'm not mad at that. I think it looks lived in And I think it makes sense with the layout of this particular ruin, like just how the rooms were laid out. It just kind of led itself to this. I am wondering if ones with different layouts would tell different stories, but this one I think tells the story of a family that sells pottery, and I think that's pretty cool. Anyway, that'll be all from me, so thank you so much for watching. I have a survival let's play happening right now if you want to see more from me. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.